Hi, this is Carolyn, and I'm here with Aaron, and we're really excited to have Tom and Dave back with us again. They were with us previously and did one of the most popular episodes we've done on how to choose a tennis partner. So if you haven't listened to that one, please go back and listen. But tonight, they're laughing and hugging each other right now. Tonight, we're going to talk about short sets or pro sets or playing them at states. You know, the thing I love about adult tennis is that you play outside, but the thing I just dislike about adult tennis as well is that you play outside when the weather's bad.
Right.
And Aaron and I, before this podcast started asking each other, what is a short set? What is a pro set?
Yeah.
We played them before, but we couldn't, we both thought they were different things. Can you guys talk a little bit about what a short set or pro set is, or what you played at states?
Yeah, what you did at states, because we had about 50 texts go back and forth about what we thought was the correct answer. And we found out there's multiple answers. So tell us what you guys did.
So for us, and a lot of it depends on states and what the weather's going to be like, right? For us, it was pretty clear the weather was going to be bad all weekend. You get some in on Friday, Saturday looked like a almost washout. Sunday didn't look any better. So they decided they were going to do the shortest thing possible, which is the short set, which is you play 2 sets and the first to 4 wins.
First to 4
win
by
2 still.
Okay. So by 2.
But it does go into at 4 all, you do go into a tie break. So you go into a just standard 7-point tie break for a set tiebreaker, but it's fast.
Yeah.
You know, you do an 8-game pro set. It's a lot different, right? That's a little closer to a regular match than a true short set with only, the first to 4. It's rough.
A lot of times, I don't know how you start, but sometimes I feel like it takes 1 or 2 points to actually get the rhythm going, especially if you're in the tension and the pressure, heavy pressure of a tournament,
adult rec
right?
tennis.
Yeah, recreational tournament,
Yeah.
But you still feel this, and so you get going, and I remember being ready to switch sides and move on, and they go, "No, it's next set." I was like, "What?"
Wow.
And it's, I'm sure everybody's lost count of the score during a long point, right? And you get done, you go, I don't even remember what the score is. Same thing happens in the short set. I did the same thing. We had won, and I walk back. I'm getting ready to serve, and my partner looks at me and goes, "Oh, it's over. We won." Oh, wow. If you're not paying attention, it goes fast.
So you do 2 of those short sets, but here's my question. Do you, if you do 2 of those sets, do you do the same switches? Like, do you switch at game 1 and game 3?
Yeah.
So you could potentially just switch. I mean, you could switch once, I suppose. No, you'd still switch at 1 and 3.
Switch twice.
And then it's over. It could be over.
And then it's over. I take 4 games just to warm up, not points, but games.
Yeah.
And I mean, the amazing thing about that is only switching twice is you're doing this because the weather's bad.
Right.
So if one side's worse than the other, and you're going to pick, you flip the coin, do you want to servers? That question gets a little interesting now because picking the side could really make a big difference at that point. Because we had some where the wind was just coming from the one side, and you couldn't hit a ball out no matter how hard you tried.
Wow.
After that one side, that actually happened to you guys.
So I had a guy lob the ball. So I think we both rushed to the net, and he lobs the ball over us, and it's like, oh, that one is gone. Now this is a windy weather, very gusty, and so we relaxed, turned around to go get the ball. It landed on the line. But it was so far gone, but it went above the windscreen of the chain link fence and changed direction, got caught in the Gulf Stream, and
it literally had its own weather pattern.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So that's another interesting thing in that situation. Lobs probably can really work in your favor or to your, obviously if your opponents do it to you, to a disadvantage.
This state actually happened to be a 6-5 combo, which meant he and I were not partners.
Right.
So we were playing with other people, and I played with a partner I had never played with before. And he had seen me play in the past, and apparently this guy loves to lob, and he wants his partner to run to the net all the time.
Right.
And he had seen me play, so Tom likes going to the net. I want him as my partner, and we'll go ahead and play. And first day, it wasn't so bad. The second day, his lobs would, he'd hit him, they'd lob, and then they would just stop right at the net on a string for the guy to just nail
rail
it
at you.
back. Or he'd hit one, and I thought, oh, that's a perfect lob, and it ends up 6 feet out to the other side. But his game was the lob game, and it really so the weather impacted him a lot more than it would impact him.
Right.
Did you guys win your short sets?
Won some.
Yes.
How many did you play? Did you play just one, or did you have to play it throughout the weekend?
There was 5 matches for the week planned for the weekend, and the weather was terrible forecast for Saturday and Sunday. So Friday we played 4 matches.
Okay. And normally you would play like 1 or 2. Yeah. Oh, good. Okay.
So we were
4 matches in one day,
but they were short sets, Carolyn.
Still, that's
yeah, right.
She's stressed already.
And old man tennis. So that's even worse.
Did you guys get injured? I would be injured by the end of it, even if it is short set.
At least we didn't have the hot weather. And what was difficult is this has been the warmest fall we've had. Every weekend was gorgeous. And all of a sudden, the weekend of the tournament, it became 40 degrees and moist and rainy and just miserable.
Just horribly cold.
And so 2 things. One is you've got to adjust and be ready for anything that happens in a tournament. The other thing is when it comes to the scoring on these short sets, there's a little tweak to it. Because guess what? All software, Tennis Link, USTA, everything is based on a 6-point match.
Right.
You can't put in a score that says 4-2.
Won't accept it.
Right.
So they provide a conversion chart. And they only kept it at the tournament coordinator's table. So it became very difficult because you got, like you said, so much going on, so much stuff to remember. But if you had a match or a set that you won 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
If you got 4 points, the rule was you added 2 points to that, so that could become 6. But if you got 2 points, if you're losing, you only got 1 point added to your score. So that becomes 6-3 in Tennis Link.
Mm-hmm. And then how they calculate tiebreakers and everything else. So I think that's the other part about being flexible is it's really important. The captain has to understand the rules, but every court needs to understand the rules because the tiebreakers and we lost this state in the third tiebreaker. We lost the state championship in a third tiebreaker. So understand what they are and what you got to do. Because we could have, like you said before, about hunker down, and if we would have taken one more set along the way, one more game along the way, it would have been a different story.
Wow. It came down to that. It was that close, huh?
Was it a round robin so that you didn't go down to
everybody once, right? No semifinals.
Yeah.
There was a total of 6 teams, 5 matches. And it was interesting what happens on the scoring because if you have a set where you won 4-1, 4-2, instead of being 2 or 3 points added to more than the other team got added, you actually got 3 or 4 points more than the other team added.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that conversion. Now, does that mean if we won all straight sets, if we had won all 5 matches, it doesn't matter. But what happens is 2 teams had won 4 and lost 1, and so you go into those tiebreakers. You look on the other columns down the row, and all the way down on the far right, total games won, which is not games won, it's actually the points won. You get 6 for every point, every match you win or whatever, every set. They pulled out ahead.
Wow.
So they earned it and they got it, and we all agree by the scoring, and that's how it goes. But it changed the dynamics. That's all I really want to say, and just be prepared for that.
Yeah,
it changes.
Yeah, that stings though when it comes down to it. It came down to a conversion, and like you said, you could have won 1 extra game or one, but you don't know that when you're just playing, and you're trying. You're just trying to win the match.
Honestly, I think it'd be more fair if they go to short sets to have the software adapted so that it could just be squarely written.
I have a question. Would you guys have won if there had not been the conversion? Like if it really was 4-2, like did you add up all your games and compare it to their games
Honestly,
and see if it was not converted?
I thought about going into all the detail of looking at every match we played. That's what, 15? We played 5 matches time. So 15
courts,
recalculating all that in a spreadsheet. I actually thought about that and I said, you know what?
It
doesn't change anything.
I know.
That's right.
It still stings. It might just sting worse if you really
But I will say this, there definitely is a potential that it could change that tiebreaker outcome.
Yes.
And if it did change the tiebreaker outcome, it's still because they won the opponent won by a greater amount than you did. It's just the variation is amplified.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you could analyze this to death, but it does make a difference.
Yeah, and how many games you get, right? Because especially it's multiplied by 1.5. So you're converting 4 to 6, you multiply it by 1.5. So if you get 0, if you get beat 4-0, 0 times 1.5, you still get 0. But if you get 1, it's now 1.5, which makes it 2. So it's interesting to go, well, I got a little more if I only got 1 than the ratio goes. But it's we didn't go back and check. I don't think I'd want to know. I don't go back and check the rankings of the people who beat me either because I just don't want to know.
I think I would. I probably would.
I was going to say, because Tom is smart. Carolyn and I would obsess about it and call each other 50 times. And
I'd be like, I think we won. Yeah.
Right.
But you have to watch what you allow to get into your head because it can drive you nuts.
Yeah. Yes, and we're talking about the short set, but just weather in general at states can be a big impact. We played our spring states for 3-0. And Dave and I were playing, and the weather actually seemed pretty good.
It was good.
And we were winning pretty handily and won the first set pretty well. We were up in the second set, and the skies opened up.
Wow.
And just I mean, not just a light rain. This was like cats and dogs all over the place.
So we're waiting around. We're thinking, well, this is over. There were clay courts. There was no way that they were going to be good to go. But they also had indoor courts. And depending on the tournament, they may or may not do the indoor because a lot of times they have to pay the extra money to get the indoor courts, but they did. So our match moved inside.
After about an hour.
Yes.
I mean, there was a whole big delay and some guys left and some, it was like, oh, we don't know. Well, you can't leave because they haven't called it. We don't know. But you can tell the courts will not going to dry out today. But sure enough, about an hour later, they said, they opened up the indoor courts. And all of a sudden we're playing, and you go from playing on an outside sunny day to a dark neon or LED light indoor court, and you only have a quarter of the game left, or the match left.
Yep.
We lost.
It didn't end well.
Yeah. I had a friend years ago at States, and same thing. We started outside on hard courts. We got moved indoors about an hour away. Luckily towards home. So those of us that were leaving, after the match were able, at least, an hour towards home. And a friend of ours had to go and play 2 points. She had to wait around. I know. And that was not necessarily a deciding match, but it was like, you don't want to retire a states match, but you also don't want to drive an hour to indoor courts to play a couple extra points. Even if those 2 went her way, it wasn't going to end well. But
2 points, not 2 games.
Not 2 games. Points? 2 points. They ended it like, it wasn't even 2 games. It was
rough.
Points.
Well, Tom, you had that this spring in just a regular USTA match. Got rained out in a tiebreaker.
Yeah. Good thing we were playing them again the next week, so we just said, well, we'll just show up early.
Oh, that's a smart way to do it.
Yeah, that didn't end well either. So we'll pick another topic because this isn't really working.
We have figured out the title to our episode. It's not going to end well.
It's not going to end well. Thanks very much to Dave and Tom for speaking with us. We have a part 2 of this episode discussing more about weather and short sets. If you'd like to see a picture of Dave and Tom, please check out our website, which is secondservepodcast.com. You can also check out previous episodes, and we've even included a resources section that has the websites we go to check for ratings and the rules. Thanks so much for listening, and hope to see you on the courts soon.